Welcome back. Right now we are joined by Straylight Run, who played wonderfully on the show. You guys, you guys have been here so many times, and now you're finally playing. It's a joy to us. I love this record.
Thank you.
The Needles of Space. This is, and I feel confident to say this because I've watched you play for a long time. I think this is the best work you've done.
Thank you. That's very nice of you.
I think you've grown a lot. It shows a lot of progression. And what is the biggest difference between this record and your past works?
The biggest difference is we really like this record. That's the biggest difference for us, I think. You know, we produced this album ourselves, so you know we really were overseeing every bit of it and trying to make it as much for ourselves and as much of what we wanted as possible. So in the end, that made us much more happy.
All right, now what do you really attribute the growth to? Is it because you're just growing as people, growing as a band? I mean, there's been a marriage in the mix that can shake things up songwriting-wise. What do you attribute the growth to?
I don't know. I think it's sort of a natural need to do something different. I think all of us as musicians and as people, we don't want to keep doing the same things over and over again, and it's just, pretty natural thing for us to just want to try different things and, make new sounds in our songs, write different kinds of songs, and so I think it just kind of happens as you grow and go through life, basically.
Now to go into a major, did that add any pressure to making the record?
No, we actually had the record completed before we signed.
Oh, great.
Yeah, we kind of tried to take the pressure off by making the record while we were actually not signed to any label at all, so I think that really helped because we were able to, like I said, just focus on what we wanted and not worry about whether it was going to be commercially successful or what anyone else thought about it. And then, luckily we were able to find Universal Republic, who was, very excited about the record after it was done, and, they were ready to take it and put it out.
That doesn't hurt. Now, how is the collaborative process, how's the writing worked over the years? For this record specifically, how has it evolved?
Well, I don't know. I don't know if
it's not very different, yeah.
Yeah, it is pretty much the same.
But on the first record, a lot of songs had been written before the band was
That's true, yeah.
co-band.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we started out on the first record. Sean and I started working on songs just by ourselves, and then Will came in and started working on more, and then Michelle came in. So I guess it is somewhat different, but we kind of developed the way that we write by the end of the writing for the first album, and it's stayed the same since then. And it's usually like Michelle or I has an acoustic version of a song, like a really basic demo that we bring to the band, and then we all just get together and kind of work on it and try to decide what direction to take it in. Sometimes the structure gets changed, and the band just kind of goes from there, and then we usually record everything a couple of times before we really record it for the album, and that also changes things a lot along the way. So.
Now you're on tour right now.
Mm-hmm.
The bus is parked out front. There's always stories about, like the Kinks and Oasis. When you have siblings in bands, there's always, fighting and squabbling and stuff. John and Michelle, does that happen?
No. We should make it up because everyone really wants that story, but we get along really well.
You should think about a really good one, like some shoe throwing thing, with John throwing a shoe at you and just throwing
Michelle
right.
beating the crap out of John.
Yeah.
Tearing it up.
Yeah.
That's what we're looking for. Well, then, by that same note, you guys, Johnny's pretty protective on the road, Michelle?
Sean is kind of the real protector. He's actually been physically protective against people, and Sean can tell that story if he wants to. I don't know.
I would like you to tell it.
Oh, good. I just hope. Well, this is the thing. I just don't want to inspire imitators, but I guess the cat's out of the bag now. So we'd flown into the show from LA. We were playing somewhere in where was it, Tulsa?
I think it was Oklahoma. I don't remember where.
Yeah, whatever. Somewhere in Oklahoma. And we were all tired and jet-lagged and stuff because we flew from New York to LA to Tulsa, whatever. And we get to the show, and like they have the 3.2% Heinekens there, not all the alcohol content.
Yeah,
makes you angry.
Which I was bummed about. So we're just trying to relax before the show, and everything's cool. Then we lost our gear too, so we didn't have any of our own guitars. So that was another bummer on the night, along with the beer. And so we have to borrow from the band before us. And I'm playing this Gibson Thunderbird bass, which is what Nikki Sixx likes to use. And he's one of my idols, so I was pretty cool with that. But so anyway, we're playing the song The Tension and the Terror, And during the part about, I tried just to keep myself from kissing you, a kid jumps up on stage and tries to kiss Michelle. Like, really forcibly, like, grabs the back of her head and pulls her in and tries to hold her. And I see this, and I just take the bass, and I run over, grab by the throat, and launch him off the stage.
You really gave him a one-arm throw.
Yeah, it's
amazing.
It was like that, a mother seeing their baby, getting hit by a bus, and they lift up the bus like Superman and stuff. Like, that's the strength I kind of felt like I had in that moment.
You hulked it out from Michelle. We gotta take a quick break right now, but we're gonna come back and hang out with Straylight Run. God, I'm so I just have this picture of you as a wrestler, just like body slamming somebody. All right, a few moments. Straylight Run. Don't go anywhere. Right here. Don't hurt me. All right, welcome back. Now I've hogged Straylight Run enough, so I'm going to open up the questions to you, the viewers. I hope you don't show me up again. Okay, let's get this one. All righty. John, I read an interview somewhere that you said you could do a Donald Duck impersonation. I don't want to embarrass you or anything, but I would really enjoy hearing it. But if you don't want to do it, I understand.
I can try it. It takes me a second to do it. I don't even know why I mentioned that in an interview. It was a stupid thing to do. Because now it's come up over and over again.
Oh, it's come up more than once.
Yeah.
At least 5 times.
This is the first time on television. So.
Good.
All right, let's see.
Get it out there and get it over with.
All right, here we go.
Wow. That was amazing.
Thanks. Yeah.
It's like an animated duck just walking.
Yeah. It's impressive. I know.
We're having fun now.
Alrighty. And same person, young lady named Megan. She said, for a more serious question, she said, I know the bands you've been influenced by, but she wants to know, have you been influenced by any musicals?
Michelle probably has, right?
Influenced,
musically,
personally, okay.
Personally, life lessons learned from Oklahoma.
I love musicals, especially starring Gene Kelly.
Oh, there you go. There's a lot of singing in the rain on this record.
What is the question? Lessons learned? No, you just said that.
I just said that. You just want to know if you've been influenced by.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't say a specific one, but musicals in general have lots of harmonies and things like that I enjoy.
It inspires the sound. Here's one from Zoe, who wants to know, what's the most embarrassing moment to ever happen on the bus?
Most embarrassing moment on the bus?
Yeah. You get so close, you don't even think of them being as embarrassing anymore, probably. I never had to bag one, so.
Oh, Lord.
Never had to bag one.
Sometimes, you can't go number 2 on the bus. And so sometimes if someone has to go really bad and the bus can't stop, there's a technique of putting a plastic bag in the toilet and, going in there. And then you have to carry your bag of poop through the bus and kind of toss it out the window as you're traveling. Which can be somewhat embarrassing, and it also really smells terribly. When it doesn't hit the water, it's just
it's pretty bad.
Our parents are proud of us right now.
Hey, Adrian Young from No Doubt calls it the bag of shame. It's a very, very common thing.
It is shameful.
All right, I want to thank everybody here for writing, and thanks to Straylight Run for answering fan questions. As always, you can log on to fuse.tv/Steve and find out more information about who's going to be on the show. Check out our MySpace page and learn how to ask the questions that you're dying to know. Straylight Run are going to perform another song for you. In the meantime, we're going to watch a video from our friends in Seosin. They're going to be on Project Revolution this summer alongside Linkin Park, Mike Kim, Taking Back Sunday. So make sure you do not miss them. Here's You Are Not Alone on The Untitled.